Welcome in. Today we'll be working through a 30-minute twisting practice to get your day started. Beginning in an easy cross-legged seat, start with your right shin in front of your left. Place your hands face down on your knees, close your eyes, and begin to notice your breath. As you move the breath along the back of your throat, blink your eyes open, circle your arms to the sky, interlace your fingers up above your head, and press the heel of the hand to the ceiling above. Take a deep inhale at the top, feel that the sides of the neck are long, and then as you exhale, twist toward the right. And as you twist toward the right, draw your right ribs back, and as your left ribs spin forward toward the top of the mat, notice that your left hip didn't come with you. So ideally, we're continuing to draw the left femur bone back, we're continuing to draw the left hip back. So it's the shoulders that create the twist, and the hips continue to point directly forward toward the top of the mat. On the inhale, come back down the center, press the palms up toward the sky. And as you exhale, release your hands back down towards your knees. And as you release your hands back down towards your knees, send your legs straight out in front of you, flex your toes towards your face for a moment, and then cross your left shin in front of your right shin, just switching the cross of the legs. With the shins crossed at the center, actively flex the feet. On the inhale, circle the arms to the sky, and then interlace the fingers and press the heel of the hand up high. Take a deep breath in at the top, and as you exhale, twist toward the left. And as you twist toward the left, feel the movement originating from the side obliques, drawing the left ribs back, spiraling the right ribs forward, and actively continuing to draw your right femur bone back so that your hips point square straight ahead. On your inhale, come back through the center line. As you exhale, release your hands to the tops of your knees, roll over your two knees, and right into tabletop pose. With your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, step your feet back, upper push-up plank position. As your heels drive toward the back of the mat, draw your heart forward and send energy out through your two heels as if they were pressing up against a wall at the back of the room. Keep what you have, and on the inhale, float your right toes 2 inches off of the mat. Noticing that your left hip didn't drop, your hips stay even like a tabletop. The toes are going to continue to float. We're going to stay in plank pose. Just take your right knee to your left elbow, twist and cross, and notice that your right shoulder didn't come with you. Your right shoulder draws down your back. Keeping your toes floating, inhale your right leg straight back, heel presses back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, twist and cross. Inhale your right leg straight back. One more time, right knee, left elbow, twist and cross. Inhale your right leg straight back, float the toes for a moment, and then set the toes back down toward the mat. On the inhale, lift your left toes 2 inches up and off the floor. Keep the heart drawing forward and out. As you exhale, left knee to your right elbow. Notice it's the hips that create the twist, not the shoulders. Inhale your left leg straight back. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, twist and cross. Inhale the left leg straight back. One more time. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, twist. Inhale the left leg straight back. Float the toes for a breath and then set them down to the mat. Take a goodbye inhale, upper push-up plank pose. And as you exhale all the way down to the mat, lower slow. Slide the wrists back underneath the elbows and press the tops of the feet down and into the mat. On the inhale, low cobra as you begin to warm the spine, roll the shoulders back, and continue to press the tops of the feet down and into the mat. Exhale, heart, chest, and chin, lower slow to the floor, 2 more like that. Inhale, baby cobra, the heart draws forward as the collarbones spread. Exhale, lower slow to the mat. One last time. Inhale, heart rises. Keep reaching through the feet toward the back of the mat, even as they press down to the floor. Exhale, lower slow, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. As you come into down dog, separate the feet about the distance of the hips and hide the heels behind the center of your foot. On the inhale, lift your right leg up and back, drive your right heel toward the back of the room, and feel how your outer right hip spins down toward the floor so that your right kneecap points down to the floor, your right pinky toe points to the mat. Take a goodbye inhale here. As you exhale, step your right foot forward to the top of your mat, staying on your back left toes. Draw your heart forward and out, get long through the spine. Keep the left hand underneath the left shoulder, and on an inhale, take your right arm up to the ceiling above. above. Stacking your right shoulder on top of the left, notice once again that the hips stay the same. So as the right thigh descends down toward the mat, the root of the left thigh lifts up toward the sky. So your low back is flat like a tabletop. Keep what you have and send your right arm out and over your head, extending long from your left heel all the way through your right fingertips as you reach out. Wrapping your right ribs back as if your belly button could spin to your right inner thigh. Continue to hug your right knee into your chest just like that. Inhale your right arm up to the sky. Exhale your right hand to the mat. Step back to upper push-up. Take a goodbye inhale at the top. And exhale, lower slow to release. Cobra or up dog if you're ready. Inhale, lift the heart, draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale, tuck the toes, shift back, downward facing dog. And you come back here just to gently reset. Noticing the sound your breath makes, noticing that you're right here on your mat and in this space. On the inhale, lift your left leg up the height of your left hip. As your heel drives back, notice that it's pressing as if it were up against a wall. So that leg is really strong as it presses back. Take one more big inhale at the top. As you exhale, step your left foot forward to the top of the mat. Staying in a lunge on your back toes, lengthen through the spine. Keep the length that you've created and just send your left arm up toward the sky. Stacking the left shoulder on top of the right, we want to try to twist from a place of length. So thinking about the tailbone reaching back, the crown of the heart and the center of the head reaching forward toward the front of the room. All the same work here. Left thigh dropping down to the mat, right thigh lifting up toward the sky. Take a big inhale at the top, left arm out and over the head as you exhale to extend. Pinky finger wrapping down toward the floor, thumb wrapping up toward the sky as long as the shoulder is healthy. See if you can lengthen out a little bit more. Big inhale, left arm up high. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Step the left toes back. Lower slow to release. Inhaling cobra or up dog, your back bend of choice. As you exhale, tuck the toes, press everything back. Pause and downward facing dog. As you root through the inner edges of your hands, take a big inhale, press the chest back. Gaze forward, bend your knees, step or if you're ready, float to the top of your mat. On the inhale, glance out, draw the heart forward and out. Exhale, forward fold, melt over the thighs. Bend the knees, drop the hips right into chair pose, circle the arms to the sky. Feel the weight shifting back into your heels and maybe a little lightness in your toes as they possibly even lift, spread, and rise. Then press to standing, hands to the heart. Give yourself a moment and close your eyes. With your legs straight, your hands at your heart, giving yourself a moment, standing tall at the top of your mat. All four corners of the feet rooting heavy as you just take a moment and set an intention for your practice today. What is it that you're wringing out? What is it possibly that you're letting go of, that you have this opportunity to twist, to renew, and to release? On the inhale, with your 2 feet grounded, bend your knees, drop your hips, circle your arms to the sky. Utkatasana, chair pose as you sit deep. Exhale, dive and forward fold, straighten your legs, melt over the thighs. Inhale, glance out, halfway long spine. Plant the hands as you exhale, step or float back to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog as you lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg up and back. As you exhale, step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. On your back toes, feel your right sit bone dragging to the back right corner of your mat. Keep what you have and run your arms down your sides like wings. Rolling your shoulders onto your back, see how long you can get through the spine. And there's a little bit of space between the top of your right thigh and your belly. Just about an inch or two, you float above the thigh. Grounding through your 2 feet, inhale, circle the arms to the sky. Crescent pose, stacking shoulders over hips. Feel your tailbone lengthen down to the mat. Take a big inhale, reach up, maybe gaze up if it makes sense. Touch the palms and connect. Exhale, both hands to the mat through the vinyasa. Lower slow as you release. The elbows hug in and point back. Inhale, lift the heart, start to build some heat. Down dogs your exhale, your low belly pulls you back. Inhale, the left leg floats the height of the left hip. Exhale, step the left foot forward on your back toes. Pull the heart out, go for length to begin with. Then sense your inner thighs squeezing into the center center line. It gives you stability through the midline of the shape. Run the arms down by the sides, roll the shoulders onto the back. See if you can become one long dynamic line of energy as you reach. Inhale, crescent pose, circle the arms to the sky, shoulders over the hips, strong and steady as the shoulders soften down the back. Gazing at the horizon, take an inhale, reach up, and only if it makes sense, touch the palms and connect at the peak. Exhale, both hands to the mat, step back, lower slow as you release. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Feel how your low belly draws up and in. There's a little touch of what we might call Uddiyana Bandha and even maybe Mula Bandha. So we start to fire up the Agni, the digestive heat and power in the body. Take a big inhale, press the chest back, gaze forward, bend your knees, step or lightly float to the top. Inhale, glance out and lengthen. Exhale, fold and keep the length. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Inhale, one breath, chair pose as you rise. Press to standing, hands to the heart, bring it into the center line. On the inhale, rebend the knees, sit the weight back, chair pose as you drop deep. Exhale, dive and fold over your thighs. Inhale, glance out for a long spine. Plant your hands as you exhale, step or float back to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog, tuck the toes, right leg to the sky on an inhale. Right foot steps lightly as you exhale. Crescent pose as you inhale, circle the arms and lift the chest. Vinyasa as your exhale, hands down as we start to build some heat and some pace. Inhale, lift your sternum up. Exhale, tuck your toes and press back. Left leg to the sky, inhale, deep breath. Exhale, lightly step it forward, circle your arms to the sky. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, hands come down, step back, lower slow with control, there's no rush. Inhale, lifting the heart up. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back. Take a moment as you ground into downward facing dog, as if you could feel not only that your thighs are pressing back, that your kneecaps are lifting up, but that your inner thighs are spiraling toward the back of the mat. Keep the strength in the legs. Take a big inhale, press the chest back. Gaze forward, bend your knees, step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Inhale, chair pose. Press and rise to standing, hands to the heart. On the inhale, re-bend the knees, sit the weight down and back. As you exhale, dive and fold in half. Inhale, glance out, long spine. Exhale, hands down, step or float to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog for most. Exhale, downward facing, right leg to the sky, deep breath. Exhale, right foot steps forward on back toes. Inhale, circle and lift the chest. Exhale, both hands to the mat, lower slow, the elbows hug in as they point back. Inhale, scoop the heart up. Exhale, down dog, left leg to the sky, deep breath. Exhale, left foot steps lightly to the top of the mat. Use the inhale, rise to the peak of the pose. Then exhale, both hands come to the mat. The body empties out of breath. Deep inhale, feel the stern on the collarbones lift. Exhale, downward facing as you tuck the toes. Take a moment together. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth. On the inhale, lift the right leg up and back. As you exhale, step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. Circle your arms to the sky, crescent pose, lift the arms up high and listen close. Pause at the top, bring your hands together at the center of your heart. Feel the body lift on an inhale, fill the lungs with breath. Pause here. Exhale all of the breath out of the body. See how empty you can get. Once you're empty, turn and twist left elbow to the outside edge of your right knee. So when we empty the body of breath, we have more space to deepen into the twist. Right now, think about how long you are. Project your heart forward toward the top of the mat and sense that you're twisting from a place of length. So your hips have stayed the same and it's your shoulders that have stacked to create the twist. Once that's in place, press up with your left hand so it drives into your right hand and you get broader across your collarbones, across your chest. Now keep all of that and sense that your left elbow is glued to the outside edge of your right knee. That's the key to this movement. On your inhale, look down. Shift the weight forward, start to come up onto your left toes, and then lift your left leg, float it in the air as you shift the weight forward. Tap your left knee to your right knee, and then if you can, inhale and float it straight back. If it's too much, tap it down to the mat for support. Good, 2 more like that. Left knee taps the right knee, see if you can float. Send the left leg straight back. 1 more time, left knee taps the right knee. Send it straight back. Last time, left foot steps up to meet the right, sit down into twisting chair. As the feet connect, as the palms connect, continue to square your sit bones straight back. So your knees continue to point straight ahead, your hips don't flare off to one side. Stay down low. If it makes sense, spread the arms. Drop the left hand down, reach the right arm to the sky, and you know you can do that if your tricep gets to the outer edge of your right knee as you sit deep. Keep the thighs where they are. On the inhale, chair pose through the center line. Circle the arms to the sky. Press to standing. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. So letting go any kind of thought, any kind of distraction, just being right here, right now in the breath. Maybe a little early heat in the body and really resting in that sense of being fully alive in this moment in your practice. See if you can, keep what you have, blink your eyes open, take your left hand to your left hip and hug your right knee into your chest. As you hug your right knee into your chest, a lot of us are going to stay right here, and Jamie will show this variation. She's just going to hold on to her right knee. Some of us might take the left hand to the outside edge of the right foot, and instead, Jamie's going to take her right hand to her right hip, and her left hand's going to come to the outside edge of her right knee. So you can do this with your legs straight, or you can do it with your knee bent. If you have the outside edge of your foot, you're going to kick the leg towards straight and reach your right arm straight back. As your right arm reaches straight back, your right collarbone spreads across your chest. And as your collarbone spread, maybe your gaze reaches back and you find one steady point to rest your eyes as you expand your chest. So all the same work that we've been doing, your hips continue to point straight forward toward the top of the mat. On the inhale, come back through the center. Keep the right leg where it is. Send both arms up to the sky. If the knee's bent, now you can extend it out towards straight. The foot flexes back toward the face. Beautiful, you guys. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, right foot meets the left, hands to the heart, and pause at the top. Switching legs, shift the weight into the right foot and float back to third warrior. Your left leg extends behind you. Chest parallel to the mat as your outer left hip rotates to the floor. Beautiful. So think about if you were an airplane and there were passengers inside. So the passengers or your blood, your organs, everything inside of you, even out your airplane. If you're nose diving, lift your heart up. Take a big inhale at the top. Left hand to the mat as you exhale, right arm to the sky, Parvarita Ardha Chandrasana, twisting half moon. Right thigh drags to the back right corner of the mat, and you continue to lift your left thigh so that your left hip and your right hip are one long line. As your right arm reaches to the sky, think about if you were pressing that right hand into a wall, give it some momentum so the tip of the right shoulder blade shifts into the back of the heart. Beautiful, you guys. Take a big inhale here, deep breath. Right hand comes down. Pause here, fingertips underneath the shoulders. Looking ahead, take a deep breath in at the top. As you exhale, start to bend your left and right knee. Set your left foot to the outside edge of your right foot, sitting all the way down onto your mat. Right hand comes behind you, buffer your spine for support. Inhale your left arm to the sky. Take a deep breath. Sit forward and up through the back. As you exhale, left elbow to the outside edge of your right knee as you take your twist. And then take the gaze over the right shoulder. And as you gaze over the right shoulder, go ahead and close the eyes for a moment. Really drop inside. Give yourself a few really healing deep breaths. Part of the key to this pose, oftentimes we tend to round in the mid-back, like when we sit in a chair and our mid-back dumps back. We'd like to sit forward onto the sit bones. We want to think about the sacrum area pressing forward toward the top of the mat and lifting up through the mid-back. So again, we twist from a place of length as the right shoulder rolls down the back. Wherever you are, take one more big inhale. Gaze forward as you exhale. Unwind, release the right elbow from the top of the knee, and then as you gaze forward, shift your weight forward, plant your fingertips down, press back onto your foot, rise all the way back up, standing splits as your left leg lifts. Walk your hands in either side of your right foot, wrap your right forearm around your right calf, and draw your chin to your shin. Your fingertips could stay by either side of your right foot. Maybe both hands wrap around the calf, depending on what feels best today. See if you can keep the left leg strong, and maybe even spread the left toes as they reach back. Take one more deep inhale here. If you're holding the leg, plant the right fingertips to the mat. Start to bend your right knee. As you bend your right knee deep, drop step your left toes to the back of your mat. Keep your left hand underneath your left shoulder. On the inhale, right arm to the sky, right back to where you began your practice. Take a big inhale at the top, chest opening up wide. Start to pivot to the blade of your left foot. As your left toes point to the right, step your right foot on top of your left. Vashisthasana, side plank pose. Hips arc away from the mat. Take a deep inhale at the top. Right arm reaches up and over the head, extended out. As you press through the blades of the feet, send the fingertips forward, and then if you have it in your practice, just lift your right heel 2 inches off of your left. Spin your inner thighs back. On the inhale, right arm to the sky, deep breath. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Hold plank pose. Take a goodbye inhale at the top. Exhale to lower slow. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders down the back. Exhale, tuck the toes and press everything back. On the inhale, lift your left leg up and back. As you exhale, step your left foot forward, pause at the top of your mat. On your back right toes, drawing the chest out, inhale, rise, crescent pose. Deep breath, shoulders stacking over the hips, long through the low back. Take a deep inhale at the top. Bring your hands to your heart as you exhale and pause. So remember this moment here. Take an inhale, fill the body up with breath, feel the lungs lift. And then as you exhale at the bottom, when you're empty, twist right elbow to the outside edge of the left knee. And as they glue together, give yourself time to set it up. Palms press. Notice you're not jumping ahead of yourself. You're not already in the balance. You're just here twisting for success in a healthy spine. Wrapping the right ribs underneath you. Pressing actively into both hands and spreading the collarbones wide. Then keep everything that you've created in the center of the chest and the mid-back and feel that your right elbow and your outer left knee are glued together. Then as you pull the heart forward and out, start to look down, find a place to gaze. As you shift the weight onto your back right toes, shift forward, float your right leg up, tap your right knee to your left knee, and then send your right leg straight back. See if you can do it 2 more times. Right knee taps your left knee. Inhale, float it back. Last time, right knee taps your left knee. Float it straight back. As you exhale, step your right foot up to meet your left, deep into twisting chair as your inner thighs spin down. Notice that your right hip didn't stick out to the right. See if you can drag your right thigh back. If it makes sense, spread your arms out wide. Right hand drops down, left arm to the sky. Lean the tips of the shoulder blades into the back of the heart. Beautiful. Keep the thighs where they are. Stay down deep. On the inhale, back to chair pose. Circle the arms to the sky through the center line. Press and rise to standing. Hands to your heart for a moment. Close your eyes. Beautiful. Pausing at the top, give yourself a breath. And then shift your weight into your right foot and hug your left knee into your chest. As you hug your left knee into your chest, you might keep your knee bent, in which case your left hand will come to your left hip, your right hand will stay on the outer knee. If you straighten the leg, take your right hand to the outside edge of the left foot, kick the leg towards straight, and reach your left arm straight back. Beautiful, you guys. Spreading both collarbones wide across the chest. You're creating the twist from the upper body. Both hips continue to point straight ahead. Face soft, neck soft, breath deep. On the inhale, come back through the center. Keep the left leg where it is. Send both arms to the sky. Take a big inhale at the top, deep breath. Hands to the heart, left foot meets the right. Pause at the top of the mat. Feel the weight start to shift into your left foot. As you exhale, third warrior, right leg sweeps behind you, heart, chest, and thigh completely parallel to the mat. It often helps to have just a tiny micro bend in the standing left knee to roll the outer right hip down toward the mat. Then keep all of that broadening through the chest, keep the collarbone spreading wide and the heart projecting forward and out. Take a goodbye inhale here. Right hand comes down to the shoulder, underneath the shoulder, left arm to the sky as you stack it high. Twisting half moon, your right hip lifts the same height as your left. Drive your left thigh back. As your heart pulls forward and out, can you lean back, open up across the chest, take a deep inhale at the top. Left hand comes down as you exhale, plant your fingertips, start to bend both knees. Your right knee lands to the outside edge of your left foot as you sit down deep. Left hand comes behind you. Inhale your right arm to the sky so you get long through your right waist. Exhale, twist and cross, right elbow to the outside edge of your left knee. So some of the same work that you began with when you were seated cross-legged, can you continue to pull the right hip back? So even here, the hips point ahead as the left shoulder rolls down the back. Then maybe close the eyes. Feel your two sit bones rooted down into the mat. Breath deep. Maybe even a little drawing of the belly button back toward the spine as you sit up tall through the mid-back. Take one more deep inhale at the top. Gaze forward as you exhale, then unwrap the right elbow. Start to shift the weight forward, plant the fingertips down, stand back up onto your left foot, lift the right leg up and back. Standing splits, walk the hands in either side of the left foot, wrap the left forearm around the calf, draw the chin to the shin. One of your last strong standing poses, drive the heel back, maybe even spread the toes, maybe even smile, I don't know. Take a big inhale at the top, place the fingertips down to the floor, start to bend your left knee, drop step your right toes back, right hand underneath your right shoulder, inhale your left arm to the sky, this is it. Root of the right thigh lifting up away from the mat. Make sure that right hip doesn't drop. Take a big inhale at the top. Pivot to the blade of your right foot. Step your left foot to meet your right. Side plank pose, both hips stacked. Left arm out and over your head. Reach it out and extend. One long line of energy, no back bend. You're like plank pose. Inhale your left arm to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Take a goodbye inhale. Last vinyasa, exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing, tuck the toes, press it back. Beautiful, you guys. Take a big inhale, downward facing dog. As you exhale, gaze forward, either lower your knees to sit or jump through to sit. Crawl your knees forward, cross your ankles behind you, and roll all the way down onto your back. As you come onto your back, hug and squeeze your knees into your chest. Rock a little side to side. Sway a little left to right. Let your sacrum, that flat triangular space of your low back, get heavy to the mat. With your knees drawing in, take the outer edges of your feet just for a moment. Happy baby pose. Spin the soles of the feet to the sky. Knees draw down. Tailbone reaching forward. Long through the sides of the waist. And then just notice where you are in this moment, that you're still with your breath. You're listening to the sound your breath makes. You haven't run away out into your day. You're still here in your practice. Take a deep inhale at the top. Hug your knees into your chest. Keep your knees where they are. Spread your arms out wide. Spin your palms down to the floor. Drop your knees to the right. Easy twist. Send your gaze to the left. The left shoulder stays planted to the mat. You can really feel how the upper back is rooted to the floor, and the knees might not touch the floor. That's totally fine. If they're hovering in midair, you need support. Slide a block underneath the knees so you feel like you're not just hanging out. On the inhale, come back through the middle. As you exhale, drop the knees to the left. Shift the hips, the gaze to the right. And check in. Just make sure that you're not working anything that you don't need right now. So the face is soft, the mouth is soft, the upper body is soft, and even the belly is soft. On the inhale, coming back through the center. Hug and squeeze the knees into the chest. As you wrap the forearms around the knees, maybe bring the forehead up to meet the knees. Squeeze the fingers, squeeze the toes. Do the opposite of what we've been doing all class. Squeeze the eyes. Take one last big inhale at the top. And exhale, let it all go. Legs extend, feet fall away, arms come down by the sides. Spinning the palms up to the sky. There's a moment where you gently roll the shoulders underneath you, a slight lift of the chest. So even if you don't have a lot of time to practice, this moment is so important to capture. See if you can give yourself a few full, deep breaths in a state of rest. And if you're at home and you have more time to stay here, then please feel free to stay in Shavasana. If you need to get on with your day, we hope you have a wonderful day. It's such a pleasure practicing with you. Namaste.